Now, last question for you. What are 3 things you're hoping people could take away from this to really get that deep sleep and regenerative sleep?
I would say that first and foremost, really checking in on how you're doing on a stressful and emotional level. It's impossible to, to go through every day and not experience stress. But I think for our health all around, you have to find those ways that you can really let go of that and not hold on to it. And your sleep, I think, is one of the biggest things that will show you how well you're doing at that. So that's one of them. The second thing is really that all day concept where it's not just what you're doing right before bed, because that's not really going to cut it if you're having sleep problems. You need to take inquiry of your entire day, even if it's writing down, I slept really great last night. What did my day look like yesterday? I think that's really beneficial to actually see it written down in front of you. And lastly, I think it's good not to rely on supplements. If you can focus on the other 2, I think that's great. Supplements are a nice tool to use now and then, but I think often patients use them so frequently that they don't have that break glass in case of emergency, like I said before, when they really need it. So I would say those 3 I find to be really important and hopefully helpful for people moving forward.
Yeah, great. A few other things that came up while we were going through this, and I'll just throw them out there as actionable things because U-Matrix is wonderful for the cell phone, for laptops and everything. If you're looking for environment in general, you're saying, hey guys, like I do have electronics in my room. I'm not going to get rid of all of them. I do think also you could look at something called Somavedic. I had Yuri on who runs that company in a podcast. Great for just overall environment enhancing that and kind of mitigating some of those EMFs. And also shungite, like look to nature itself. There is a rock called shungite that some think is from outer space and it's been here for millions of years. And it's crazy how that has C60, which actually can help with EMF and some of the free radicals that come off of that and actually absorb that, which is nuts that you could turn in nature for something we just devised, like just in the last few, 20, 30 years with all this EMF. And one other hack that I actually, and I want to get your opinion on this as well, because I actually read about these and put them together. I do chamomile tea, I do apple cider vinegar and tart cherry. And tart cherry came from Rocasso. I interviewed the owner there, and I put the 3 together because they're all for sleep support. Have you ever heard of that?
Sounds like it might taste interesting.
Oh, it tastes horrible.
I've actually never really heard of apple cider vinegar, but the other 2, I drink chamomile before bed, but the other 2 I have heard about. I've heard they're really great.
Yeah. ACV was one of those that everyone says in the morning, and I do that in the morning too. Yeah. I do apple cider vinegar, lemon, and hot water in the morning usually. But at night, supposedly it does help melatonin production and some other things, and alkalinity in the stomach, which is good for. So I mean, there's much more research to be doing. But I if you're looking for hacks in it, I do agree with Nicole. Though it comes from the small decisions you make throughout the day, how you're going to sleep. So start from the first thing in the morning. And just make those healthy decisions throughout, and you will see yourself sleeping better and better. And it's not like a overnight thing. Let's say you don't suddenly go from I get no sleep to like 8, 9 regenerative hours of sleep. It usually happens over time. So, Nicole, thank you so much for sharing all these tips and your recommendations. And if people want to learn more about Nicole, they could go to innovativemedicine.com, look her up, and Nicole at NYCIM.com. So, thank you, Nicole.
Thank you.